Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and we've had a little market, not a big one, but a little market pullback. We're at the market cap of all of cryptos at 2.14 trillion. Little reminder, Brad Garlinghouse is calling for 5+ trillion by the end of the year. XRP is at 58 cents. So that's what's going on there. Black Swan Capitalist reminds us, don't get shaken out, crypto investors. Global M2 money supply increase begins. Global liquidity index increasing. Central banks just started to lower rates. China ramps up economic stimulus. FTX billions in distributions are coming. Elections coming. Words of wisdom, don't be dumb. He's right. In my opinion, the market reaction was nothing more than a reaction to those bombs going, Iran shooting missiles into Israel. So those are temporary things. I always ask myself, okay, do the bombs dropping in that thing have anything to do with the core reasons that I have made the investment in this investment? In this case, XRP. No, it has absolutely nothing to do with it. So anything that causes my investment to go down, for me, is a buying opportunity. That's the way I've always looked at those things. Speaking of buying opportunities, Eleanor Terrett broke this yesterday. Scoop crypto asset manager Bitwise Investments has filed in the state of Delaware for an XRP ETF. More details to come. Then she went to their chief investment officer, who is Matt Hogan, and he confirmed it. Okay, and I want to say somebody from Bitwise is going to Ripple Swell. Then we've got this Bitwise. This was from Cointelegraph. They submitted a filing, so it's all confirmed. This was like real deal. The first ETF submission. Right here, this is an interesting tweet. He says, Bitwise positioning to file for XRP ETF is highly noteworthy in my opinion. In short term, this is likely a call option on the November election. But Bitwise is a highly credible crypto native fund firm that doesn't just throw stuff at the wall. That's simply not in their DNA. This is strategic. Point being that the XRP ETF probably coming at some point, Bitwise just early. Politics clearly matter in the short term, but I think this is all inevitable over time. In my opinion, Bitwise longer term roadmap is to offer the ETF wrapper. Next step will be full tokenization. All right, and Cowboy Crypto, who is the official cowboy of the Digital Asset Investor channel, he had an interesting tweet on this. And this would probably go in the All the World's a Stage file. Or it'll just go in a file of Jay Clayton is now greedy versus whatever. Just so everyone knows, Electric Capital is an early investor in Bitwise, the same Electric Capital where Jay Clayton is an advisor. It's a small world, isn't it? Then this was an interesting one too. Anders L. Ripple's old headquarters in San Francisco used to be literally on the other side of the street to Bitwise San Francisco office. 2 years ago, Ripple moved headquarters, but it's still just a few minutes away by car. Bank of America used to be in the same building as Ripple. Yes, they did. And then everybody can't quit talking about XRP. Now even CoinDesk wants to talk about XRP.
Open interest in XRP grew to over $1 billion, and Bitcoin mining profitability continues to fall. This is CoinDesk Daily. I'm your host, Christine Lee. Show that retail investors are lagging behind it at the traders entering en masse, providing exit liquidity when Bitcoin prices approach month and reward powered exchange. The so-called .com creditors have.
She's already now. I did want to cover this part. FTX.com creditors vote massively in favor of reorganization plan. Well, the restructuring of FTX. Yeah, okay, you're restructuring after a bankruptcy or whatever they're doing, but what it's really about But you got to hide the money laundering that was going on with the whole Ukraine and money going back into the Democrat Party. That's what they've got to make sure that's never looked into, especially if Trump comes in. That's why they're all doing their organization. Now, I have to say here, I told you so. Listen to what Edward Snowden says about Solana.
A lot of people, and I don't want to name names, but Solana are taking good ideas and they're just going, well, what if we just centralized everything? It'll be faster, it'll be more efficient, it'll be cheaper. And yeah, sure, it is. You're right. But nobody's using it, but for like meme coins and scams. Because if anybody puts anything significant on it, and then all the states begin moving towards it, it's going to be a system that has levers that people can simply just take from you. You have to be thinking for the adversarial case, as opposed to the convenient, easy, early case. I mean, that's uncomfortable for like a lot of these founder mode people who are like, oh no, we need the minimum viable product, this, that, and the other.
All they did, and I spotted it the second it happened. All of the people after we uncovered ETHgate, all those people, they must have sat in a room and said, "All right, we got to figure out what to pivot to. We're going to pivot to this Solana thing. It's the closest thing we can find right now where people can build their meme coins and all their crap and cartoon monkeys and all that, and we'll be able to do the same pump and dump to retail that we did before." Now they wouldn't have said that out loud in the room, but that's what they all would have been thinking. Then all those VCs got their allotments, made sure everything was in place, and then in a coordinated fashion, we started to see Solana. All of a sudden, Solana pops up on CNBC every time they have a crypto guest. That is their game. That is what we've watched. I called it when I saw it immediately because I know who the players are. It's all the same usual suspects. Hello, Mike Novogratz. Hello, Scaramucci. They're easy to spot, folks. These are not good people. All right, then we got this. I was left scratching my head about this whole world liberty thing, and these guys are kind of scratching their head too. This is kind of the same way I feel.
Let's just go to the latest in the Trump world and crypto. At the end of the day, it's interesting because from what I understand from Bloomberg's reporting, from your own reporting, is even though he doesn't have management over World Liberty Financial, he gets some sort of financial claim to it. What do we know about the signups and what he gets at the end of the day?
Yeah, so it's clear he's getting something, but there's a disclaimer that they're not saying exactly what it is. And they're not telling us what World Liberty is. I mean, it's very crypto, right? It's like, hey, I got this project. It's really cool. Somebody famous is talking about it. Now buy my token. And that's all they're going to tell us for now.
How has the crypto community reacted to this? Because I was scrolling through some tweets, thanks to some that Sonali sent me over the last day. It doesn't seem like there's uniform support of this project from established players in the crypto industry.
No, it's pretty hard to find established guys who are for world liberty. There have been a lot of people saying this looks like a cash grab. They loved Trump when he was saying, I'm going to change policy to support your tokens. Now that he's got his own token, they're like, ooh, no, not so fast.
To be fair, also, World Liberty and the Republican Party.
Okay, enough of that. I wanted to show you this too. You may not realize it, but we're in a cult.
And if you look at past cycles, the biggest outperformance have always been cults. BTC, I'm sure you would agree that it's a cult.
Right.
Ethereum and Solana are culty to some extent.
Yeah.
Ripple, very famous cult. Cardano, very famous cult. Even Luna and Hex, which had a bad ending, but they had a very culty communities, right? And in their local sort of window of outperformance, they went ballistic. And if you look at past cycles.
Okay, so we're in a cult now. And this is Andy Schectman talking about the shift away from the US dollar.
Now, if you're Saudi Arabia, what the heck?
By the way, he owns Miles Franklin, which is one of my sponsors.
Do you want dollars that can be inflated, confiscated, weaponized, or do you want gold, which has no counterparty liability, that continues to move higher, that is going to be pegged to a new system that was reclassified the world's only tier one asset other than US dollars and treasuries, and shows this kind of potential day after day lately? I think the handwriting is on the wall. We are moving away from a from a period of dollar-based acceptance for energy into something like gold. And that, to me, is why we see gold continuing to march higher, because the big money around the world says, I don't want dollars or treasuries anymore for our stuff. Let's get something real. More importantly, that those people across the globe cannot take from us if we don't align ideologically.
Yeah, and
I think it's a big deal.
Okay, in DAIXRP.com, here's what we're going to talk about. I keep telling you, I told you about my October surprise theory. We're going to hone in on that a little more. I think that I'm right over the target, and I think it's one of two things, and we've got more evidence that's coming out now. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and tell your friends and family. Let's talk October surprise. I'm pretty sure I'm over the target. It's one of these two. Here we go.